Today's show is brought to you in part by Rapid River Knife Works, home of Michigan's largest custom knife factory showroom. The UP is home to a wealth of great places, natural wonders, and unique people. It's also a land steeped in tradition. Traditions like hunting, and in many cases, hunting means going to camp. Tonight we'll take a look at an Iron County camp that's about as unique as they come.
Yeah, he's not frozen, so this will be easy.
Sit back, put your feet up and the remote down, and stick around for this special edition of 906 Outdoors, UP Camp Stories.
Up here, we just turn back the clock, live life the way we want it to be.
9 million acres of forest, 1,700 miles of continuous shoreline, 4,300 lakes, 12,000 miles of streams, more than 300 waterfalls, 15 counties, 2 time zones, and 1 area code. Welcome to the Upper Peninsula. Welcome to 906 Outdoors. .906 Outdoors is brought to you by Cooking Wild Seasonings. Make it fresh, make it yours. Some time ago, I met up with Ray Koivunen and Don Sarder, makers of Crow Knives. I met up with them again for some beaver trapping. Well, I had the opportunity to once again sit down with Ray and Don, this time at deer camp.
We've been coming out since '91, and actually that's the year we bought the camp. And interestingly enough, the only buck we shot that year, did Dad shoot that spike?
Right.
But then we got to know the country, and
Yeah.
you know, in those days we hunted pretty much the old-fashioned way. We were mostly posting on runways. We do still hunting, walking trails, and walking the country. Then we got to know where the deer were moving, and then we started shooting bucks, and we pretty much filled up almost every year, I would say. I don't think there's many years when somebody didn't shoot a buck if he had a license. Oh, and you made that drive.
Yeah, I made a drive for you.
And sure enough, out bounding comes an 8-point.
Okay.
So, as good as I am,
That got bigger too.
No, that...
I think it was a 7-point.
Oh, okay. Well, I
See,
wasn't...
you're stretching it.
I wasn't counting tines. It was a nice rack.
Okay.
So I shot him in midair, maybe, but I hit him.
Yeah,
And
you
down
did.
he went, and he tumbled over, and he got up and kept running.
Yeah.
And lots of blood. Well, you trailed that one with me for a while.
For a long time.
And I came all the way across here to John Martinson's blind out there.
Yeah.
And I snuck up behind him and I stuck my head in the window. I said, "John, do you see a buck go by?" He jumped about that high off the seat. And we never did find that buck.
No, never found it.
But John said, come on back, because I think you stayed at the farm.
I went back to get the pickup.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So John said, well, come on in and have a cup of coffee, and I'll give you a ride back to the farm.
Yeah.
So we were sitting here talking with John. He was all alone at that time.
Yeah.
His buddy had died. His son never really took up hunting, so he's sitting here alone. He said, it's no fun hunting alone.
Yep.
He said, the camp isn't the same.
Yep.
So I said, John, if you ever want to sell it, call me.
Yep.
That spring he called me. His daughter was going to go to college.
Yeah.
He needed money to get her to college. So he logged the 40 and sold us the camp and the 40.
Yeah. Sold you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't in on that.
Well, you've been in on it ever since. But
Yes.
yeah, you didn't pay any money on this
No,
thing.
I didn't.
But yeah,
Hell,
you're just
when I get somebody else to pay, why would I pay?
Well,
Yeah.
I
Right?
found that out.
Yeah. Well, he always said that it's no fun hunting alone.
Yeah. And, a nice camp, but you're sitting here alone.
Yeah.
That ain't camp life, Yeah. That's why I invited you, even though you never paid anything, 'cause I didn't want to sit here alone.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
.906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Blades Bait and Tackle, your hardwater connection to Little Beatty Knock.
Usually we're here night before season. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
We get up early the first day, and then that's the only early morning hunt of the season.
Right. Doesn't pay to get up early every day.
No. Like
your
John-
best hunt is in the evening anyway.
Well, that's what John says. He says, I've shot more bucks in the evening than in the morning, but he only gets up one morning of deer season.
That's right.
So it kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
but he won't admit that, you know.
No. John is a late sleeper. He usually gets 12 hours every night.
Yep. So if you go to
Then
bed,
he can even get more than that.
he's been known to, yeah,
Maybe 14.
yeah, on a good night.
Well, even on a bad night sometimes,
Yep.
he gets 14 hours. He's one of a kind there, John.
He's here right now.
He's
Well,
here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
And it depends on how big his pecan is. Because
Right,
he used
right.
to have just those little urinals from the hospital.
Yeah, that ain't enough.
Well, now he's got a gallon jug.
Yeah, with a big top on
And
it.
it might be a half gallon night or it might be a full gallon night.
Right, right,
But he'll get his sleep.
right.
And then he's convinced that the nitrogen is good for the trees.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
in the
for that
morning,
oak
he
tree.
goes out and he pours out his pecan all around the tree.
Yeah,
And, well, speak of the devil.
look at here.
Oh,
We were just talking about you,
yeah.
John.
We were talking about you
My ears were burning.
adding, you know, good minerals to the trees around here when you get up.
I got a load of them every morning.
Yeah, you do.
You guys got to be respectful of the foliage.
Yeah.
And we are, John, you know
Yeah.
that.
I know.
So here's the esteemed representative from Alaska, the great state of Alaska.
He's running for governor next year.
We got to recall the one that's in there right now.
Well, she's better looking than you are.
Well, he is.
Oh, you got a guy there now?
Even he's better looking than he is.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
He's doing.
We've
that.
been select, you know, we haven't shot spikes other than the anal buck. We usually don't shoot spikes or forks. So you're looking at 6 or better. Well, you got that younger class deer around. And so you got deer for next year and some decent sized bucks.
Right.
But, you know, again, it wasn't so much shooting the deer. You know, it was coming out here for the camp
Enjoying
life.
that
Yep. Getting,
life.
yeah.
Life.
Slowing things down. There's no electricity, so there's no TVs or stereos or anything else going on, and just sit around and BS and I think take the time to spend time with each other. Everybody sits down for the meal instead of kids and everybody else going in different directions. So it was good family time and good time with the old timers and the young kids. And you see that now in the generations coming out. Nick was here, he shot a buck. The grandkids have been out. Like you said, Aaron was here the first year he was born. And he's come back and hunted, and you know, that's a generation that's going to continue, and we'll just be sitting around the table here talking about stories and not getting out in the woods so much. But that's what it's all about, spending that time together. And quality time, you know. There's really not much else to do here once you're here except sit and spend time with each other. So that's what it's all about.
Tell him about trying to weigh that buck yesterday.
No, that was your idea.
No, my idea. I would have.
Hey, watch your language. You're on TV again.
I tried to talk you out of that, but no, he was bound and determined to weigh that buck.
So he made me climb a ladder,
Oh, made you climb.
haul that.
I tried
Bucks.
to talk him out of it, but when that Finlander gets something in his head, you ain't changing
It's
it.
stuck. There's nothing in there that has any give. It's just stuck.
There's a deer right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
kind of nice shot.
you want to ground check him?
No. So yeah, you made me go up the ladder. And
Make you do anything. It was your stubbornness
yeah,
that was going to complete that
and then I was
BS.
trying to wrap that chain around the tree. So
And he
we
didn't
could-
know which. You always use a grab hook to go around something. There he was with that round hook. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew what I was doing, but you were confusing me.
Oh, is that right? Yeah,
Well,
we
anyhow,
finally
we
got that buck down. Well, you see where he lays out there. we couldn't hang him anymore.
The buck got tired of it. He said,
Oh,
I'm
sure.
through with you
I'm
guys.
through with you
I'm
guys."
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he only weighed 150 pounds, but I think that
I
scale
think that
is.
scale is all
Yeah,
screwed
I
up.
guessed 160. You guessed 172.
170. I don't know
170.
where you get the 2 from.
Well, 170.
Yeah,
And
and neither one of us were right.
but I was closest. But I
Yeah,
think
but I
that's-
don't think that scale is.
No, I think it's 10 pounds off, so it really was 160.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right on the button.
Yeah.
Well,
906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Orion Hunting Products.
Camp Hemlock shirt for the anal buck, which is the first buck shot that season. Then the biggest buck gets the Toivo shirt. And then that was our camp logo for a while. See, there's Toivo right there. Toivo and Ano.
But yeah, John shot this doe. It fell, and he just left it lay there. Kept hunting. Had his binoculars going. He was looking out in the field there. And then he looked back to see if his deer was there, and then he'd over here again. And well, one time he looked, the deer was gone. He said, "Where the hell's my deer?" Damn bear came in and dragged it away, and he didn't even know it.
Yeah,
That was your choice.
And if you
That's
shoot
right.
another one, you better think twice before you do that. 'Cause
oh,
then
I'm not gonna do it no
somebody's
more.
got to gut it. Somebody's
Right,
got to drag
right.
it in. And
Right.
then we got to hang it. And then probably skin it and quarter it and cut it up.
Yep. Yep.
That's a lot of work.
Yep. That is
So I'm not sure you should shoot another one.
me.
Right.
Yeah, but I got a license that says I can.
We
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, and you've never wasted a license in your life, so it's time you did.
I would never waste a license.
All right. Well, just think twice before you squeeze that trigger.
Well, I know my buddy would help me.
Yeah. Like do all the work.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but I know.
No, I do a lot of that.
Yeah, you give good advice.
Oh, jeez, thanks a lot.
So there's a couple ways to skin a cat. There's a lot of ways to skin a deer. And we've hung them up, head up, skin them down, put them tail up, skin them down. Then there was the old trick, you just skin along the back of the neck, and you get a big rock and tie a rope on it, and then hook it up to your pickup and skin it in one fell swoop.
There are indeed a lot of ways to skin a deer, but sometimes it's not so much a matter of how, but where.
A lot of times the deer is frozen, so what we do is we bring it into camp the night before, put it on the floor and let it thaw out, and then we throw it up on the operating table. I don't think I can throw him on my back. Yeah, he's not frozen, so this will be easy. So as long as we got 3 guys, if you grab the head, I'll take this. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Boy, he just fits on the operating table. And he doesn't need any more anesthesia. He's sufficiently anesthetized. So usually what we do is we saw the 4 legs off, but I'm just going to skip that for today because my son's coming up and he wanted to help. Then what we do, take our handy dandy bungee cords, and we got to roll him on his back. Slide him this way and his rack will keep his neck straight. Yeah, I might have to double. There's one leg. There's another leg. There. Now he won't move. At least he hasn't moved so far. And then we just come up and start peeling from each side. What's nice, you don't get any hair on it because the deer's always laying on his hide with the hair down. Nice and warm in here, good light, and he doesn't mind a bit.
906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Christ, your Northwoods neighborhood store.
That table was made for my grandpa. I think it was 1907. That's when they were hunting out at Ralph at the Skelly Ranch. I think a friend of his made it for him. So it's 2 deer heads back to back.
It's 4 deer heads.
Oh yeah, 2 on the bottom.
Right, there's 4 heads.
I forgot. Yeah, and then 2 on top.
Yep.
And the antlers are the base for the table. So it's a little shaky, but not bad. And he did a nice job on the inlay on this.
Yeah, for the tools that they had in that day.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he really did a good job.
So that was a gift from one of his hunting buddies.
Yeah, I've been coming to this camp since Ray bought it in 1991. I had actually started coming back in 1990. I've been back every deer season since, and fly down from Alaska. Usually we stay here for several days, at least a week or week and a half, sometimes a full 2 weeks.
We've been we haven't shot spikes other than the anal buck. We usually don't shoot spikes or forks, so you're looking at 6 or better. Well, you got that younger class deer around, and so you got deer for next year and some decent sized bucks.
Right.
But again, it wasn't so much shooting the deer. It was coming out here for the camp life.
Right, yeah, the big thing coming is to get together with the gang and basically get the camaraderie of deer season. It includes the hunting partially, but it's the camp life, the fact that you're able to be just relaxed. You want to get up early and hunt, that's fine. You want to sleep in, that's just as fine. But we hunt enough so that we usually end up getting our deer. And it's just enjoying the woods, really. Ray and I were born and raised in the copper country, and so we spent a lot of time Houghton and Kouvinnen County, down at the family camp at Rabbit Bay. And it's something, when you grow up with that, it really means a lot to you to get back to it.
Slowing things down. There's no electricity, so there's no TVs or stereos or anything else going on, and just sit around and BS and I think take the time to spend time with each other. Everybody sits down for the meal instead of kids and everybody else going in different directions. So it was good family time and good time with the old timers and the young kids. And you see that now in the generations coming out. Nick was here, he shot a buck. The grandkids have been out. Like you said, Aaron was here the first year he was born.
Yeah.
And he's come back and hunted, and that's a generation that's going to continue, and we'll just be sitting around the table here talking about stories and not getting out in the woods so much.
As far as getting out, getting the exercise, obviously we've slowed down over the years, but we can still keep up with some of it. The ownership of the land is important to us, knowing that we're owning it to simply pass it on. We're taking care of it for the next generations. And so we pay attention to that.
That's what it's all about. Spending that time together and quality time. There's really not much else to do here once you're here except sit and spend time with each other. So that's what it's all about.
Well,
906 Outdoors is brought to you by Race Driven, your source for premier power sports products. The traditions of deer hunting and deer camp go back far beyond the years of any of us alive today. Here's a look at some great photos from the collection of Jack Dio, Superiorview Studio. Feel free to join us on Facebook or visit us at 906outdoors.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up to get on the 906 Outdoors email list. We'll send you an occasional email with tips, recipes, and more. You'll also be eligible for giveaways just for being on the list. Thanks for watching, and we invite you to join us next week for another adventure right here on 906 Outdoors.